Hi, my name is Alexia and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. So before we get to the video, I said I'm gonna do a little intro so you can get to know me. So hi, my name is Alexia, as I've said before. I'm 20 years old. I'm a first year university student studying film. And I think I'll only be studying film. I don't think I'm gonna ever change my major, to be honest. I love every single thing about movies. I love watching movies. I love reviewing movies. I love talking about movies. I love recommending movies to people. So that's why for my first video, I decided I'm gonna be talking about my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Just a little disclaimer before we start the video. I'm the kind of person that loves fun movies. I love movies that I can rewatch a million different times and never get bored. Those are my favorite kind of movies because I just love fun movies. Let's officially get into the video. Okay, so number 5 is Ocean's 8. Ocean's 8 is a 2018 heist comedy that follows Debbie Ocean, sister of Danny Ocean from the Ocean's trilogy, as she assembles a team of 8 women to pull off a high-stakes robbery at the Met Gala in New York City. The team, made up of skilled criminals and professionals, must navigate through various obstacles and challenges to successfully steal a valuable necklace from a wealthy socialite. I just love this movie so much. This movie it stands out so much in my mind. Like, you have Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett, Sarah Paulson, Anne Hathaway, Rihanna. Like, I love this movie so much. It's so good. There's a little plot twist in the movie, but it's like every single time I get around to that plot twist, I'm always surprised. Like, I'm genuinely always surprised. I don't know if it's short-term memory loss or if it's because I just don't want to remember this, so that every single time I watch it, I'm surprised again. But it's just so good. I just love it. The casting is amazing. The film is, not only is it really interesting, it's also visually very beautiful. It's also the movie that kind of got me into loving heist movies. Like, this movie is the reason why, like, a few years after watching this for the first time in 2018, I just had an obsession with heist movies. I would constantly want to watch as many heist movies as I possibly could because of Ocean's 8. It's just so good and I love it so much. A memory from the movie that really sticks out to me is at the ending, close to the ending, when they're walking out of the Met Gala and all of them have like the jewelry and the diamonds just around their neck and everybody is in their beautiful outfits, and I'm like, I just love it so much. I'm so obsessed. I have an edit. I have an edit for everything. Oh, also, I love Kate Blanchett. Oh my gosh, Kate Blanchett? Literally the love of my life. Please, nobody ever talk to me. Number 4 is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is a 2019 superhero film based on Marvel comics that follow the journey of Carol Danvers, a former US Air Force pilot who becomes a part of the elite Kree military team known as the Star Force. After crash landing on Earth in the 1990s, she discovers her true identity and powers as Captain Marvel, a superhero with superhuman strength and the ability to manipulate energy. As she navigates her past and present, Carol teams up with a young Nick Fury to battle shape-shifting Skrulls and discovering the truth about her origin. I love this movie. I don't think anybody will ever understand how much I love Captain Marvel. And I don't know if I love Captain Marvel because of the story or because of the plot or because I love Brie Larson so much, but I just love this movie. This movie has to be one of my all-time favorite Marvel movies. And I know people tend to have like a negative reaction whenever talking about Captain Marvel. Like, some people hate it, some people love it. I've seen a lot of mixed reactions when it comes to this movie, but I personally am one of the biggest Captain Marvel fans. It's such a well-written story. I've rewatched it like 5 times already. I just love it so much. It's also a movie too that made me want to start watching Marvel movies and like learn about the whole Marvel cinematic universe. I never really had an interest in Marvel movies or the cinematic universe until I watched Captain Marvel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I am just obsessed. I love every single thing about Captain Marvel. Brie Larson was just amazing. And I don't even know either if the negative reaction people normally have to Captain Marvel, if it's because they genuinely hate the story, they hate Carol Danvers, or if they just can't stand Brie Larson. I just don't know why people say they hate it, because it's actually a fairly good movie, and I know that it may not be for everybody, but it's still really good. Like, it's undeniably still really good. And then speaking of Captain Marvel, The Marvels, I watched that like 2 weeks ago. It's so good. It's so good. It's visually gorgeous. Every single thing in The Marvels was just amazing. I loved that movie. I'm obsessed with that movie, and I just watched it last week for the first time. Number 3 is Fear Street Part 2, 1978. Fear Street Part 2, the second installment in the Fear Street trilogy, is a 2021 teen supernatural slasher film following sisters Ziggy and Sydney as they navigate the mysterious events that unfold at Camp Nightwing. The film centers on the cursed town of Shadyside as a killing spree terrorizes the camp, turning a summer of fun into a gruesome fight for survival. This is such a good movie. I watched this movie for the first time last year after it being recommended to me, and I'm like, you know, this movie actually looks really good. It's just that I'm not really a big fan of thriller, of like horror. Those movies have just never like stood out to me. I've always just been terrified of horror movies. Just randomly decided I'm gonna give it a shot, and it's just amazing. It was so good. Fear Street trilogy is so good. I honestly love it so much. Kiana Madeira stars in it. She plays Dina in it, and honestly, I love her role. That's also one of the main reasons to why I even started the movie, because not only was I recommended it, but I also realized, oh, I have seen Kiana before in another show on Netflix. So I'm like, oh, this must be really good, and it absolutely was. It was so good. I loved it. I think definitely the second one, though, the one I'm talking about, is definitely the scariest one out of the whole entire trilogy. It's so creepy. I think like halfway through I had to take a break, just like step away, because it was so harsh and scary, and I could not, there's no way I could actually finish that movie in one sitting and not get nightmares. So I took a little break, and then I finished it, and then I had to watch something to kind of like clear my mind before going to bed, so I didn't get like nightmares or something. This is also why I don't like scary movies. It's just amazing. And I also love too this movie was also like a little throwback. The first movie would have been present day, and then the second one would have been a throwback to what happened in the past. And I honestly, it's so good. Fear Street, amazing. I love it so much. I also found out too last year that they're actually making another Fear Street. I don't remember if they're making a series or another movie. Fear Street, 10 out of 10. Beautiful, gorgeous. I'm probably gonna rewatch it later, honestly. Number 2 is Bottoms. 2023 one. Bottoms is a 2023 satirical teen comedy film that follows two high school seniors, PJ and Josie, as they start a fight club to meet girls and lose their virginity. They soon find themselves in over their head when the most popular students start beating each other up in the name of self-defense. This movie is a cinematic masterpiece. I don't think anyone understands how much I love and I'm obsessed with this movie. This is just the perfect movie ever. I love talking about Bottoms, how much I love watching Bottoms. This sounds so weird just saying it, but it's such a good movie. It is so well written. Rachel Sennott, Ayo Idibri, everything that she's been in, I have watched. At this point, I literally have watched everything she's been in. She's so talented. She's so funny. It's like she just made to constantly play the awkward character. Like she is so me. Josie is literally so me. Oh my gosh, I don't think anybody will ever understand how much I fully enjoy this movie, how much it has impacted my life in the short amount of time since I've watched it. I enjoy it so much. It's like your classic 90s, early 2000s, cute little comedy chick flick that I love. I love every single thing about those movies, and this is just like the living embodiment of them. But it was released in 2023, you know? It's so good. I don't think I've ever seen any negative feedback about Bottoms, which is honestly still like mind blowing to me. Like everybody I've seen review this movie or talk about this movie, talk about how much they love it, talk about how much they enjoy it. It's like so good. I can't even put into words how much I love it. I cannot wait to rewatch it. Like you don't even understand. From the cast to the writing to the directing and everything. Another thing that really stands out to me is how they literally played the whole entire duration of Complicated by Avril Lavigne in the movie. They played a whole entire song. That was the best part. And I've been obsessed with that song ever since. Before we get into my number one movie, like my favorite movie of all time, I'll be giving you a little bit of honorable mentions that I didn't include in this video, but I love. But I'm a cheerleader. Now You See Me 2, Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Pitch Perfect 2, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, and also Mean Girls, the new one that just came out, like literally in January. It's just so good. I love Mean Girls. I love that movie so much. That movie is Renee Rapp. The camera died on me. So my number one movie of all time would have to be Hunger Games Catching Fire. Hunger Games Catching Fire is the second installment of the Hunger Games film series. The movie follows Katniss Everdeen as she returns home safe after winning the 74th Annual Hunger Games, along with fellow tribute Peeta Mellark. Winning means they must turn around and embark on a victory tour of the districts. Along the way, Katniss senses that a rebellion is simmering against the oppressive capital. As the 75th Games approach, Katniss and Peeta are forced back into the arena as a part of a twist known as a Quarter Quell, a competition that could change Panem forever. This movie is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love Suzanne Collins so much. Suzanne Collins is so talented. You don't even understand. Suzanne Collins is just so amazing. And I need her to write more. I don't care if Suzanne Collins writes more Hunger Games books. I just need her to release more books. Please, Suzanne Collins, please release more books. Even though I haven't read the Hunger Games book series yet, which is on my list of books that I want to read. I just really need to get them and then I can finally read them. So they're definitely on my list. I just haven't read them yet. But speaking on the movie, Hunger Games universe is just so amazing and I love the series so much. All of the movies are just really good. It's just that Catching Fire really stands out to me as being one of my favorites. And I know Catching Fire is the most popular Hunger Games movie because most of the times from what I've seen, when people talk about their favorite movie in the series, they always say Catching Fire is number one. And I mean, it's a fan favorite for a reason. It is so beautiful. I love the story. Visually, it is very gorgeous. And I also love to in Catching Fire, we're introduced to so many new characters like Joanna Mason and Finnick Odair. And personally, my favorite character in the whole Hunger Games universe and series would have to be Joanna Mason. I love Joanna Mason. Joanna Mason is such a well-written character and I love how complex she is. I know this whole entire video is practically just me fangirling about characters and celebrities, but I don't think you even really understand how much Joanna Mason means to me. Even her hair kind of also inspired me too because she has dark hair and then she has little red highlights. That's exactly what I ended up doing and I honestly love my hair. So you can't really see it because of the hairstyle that I have, but yeah, I started reading fanfics. I think I've read almost every single fanfic that is out there, that is available, because of how much I love her character. I think one of my favorite moments or one of my favorite scenes from Hunger Games is like obvious. When Katniss is being raised into the arena, and she's like panicking, she's hitting on the glass, she's trying to get out, but as she's slowly raised into the arena, the screen gets wider. I love that. I love that moment so much. Whoever came up with the idea to make the screen get wider is literally a genius. Catching Fire is just so good. It's amazing. I could literally talk about this movie for hours and hours and never get bored. It's so beautiful. So a little fun fact about me, Catching Fire is actually the reason why I wanted to study film and why I got into film in the first place. Like, I just remember it so vividly, watching Catching Fire for the first time when I was 15, and I just loved it so much that it inspired me to want to make movies. I want to make movies that make people feel like Catching Fire made me feel when I watched it for the first time. If you haven't watched Catching Fire yet, or even the whole entire Hunger Games series, including Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, you need to watch them. They're so amazing. And after you watch them, you need to come back and then you comment and tell me how much you love them. Yeah. So I think that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. Follow me on Letterboxd to see what I'm watching next. I always log my movies on Letterboxd, and if like a specific series is also on Letterboxd, I'll also log it on there too. So thank you so much for watching. Follow and subscribe if you want more film content or like lifestyle content. I don't really know what I'm making yet, but like, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.